What's up, everyone? It's Willette with Urbex and Coasters, and today I'm in Seaside, California. And today we are going to be exploring an abandoned military base. So that's pretty cool. This just happened to be right by where iOverlander took me to camp. So you're going to see how cool some of the places you can discover are just because of that app. So here's a look at the buildings here. Like, this is like a whole campus of abandoned buildings here. So, that's super cool. And we have our path in right here. And as you can see, there's nothing that is preventing us from going in. You might have signs like that, but seeing all this graffiti, I take those signs like I took them at Joyland. But I would not go near that, because that's a wasp hive right there. Looks like people have gotten up inside there. This might be the kind of explore that I come back to and do with someone else. Here's a look in the basement. Here's a look at some stuff that's been dumped here. That door is wide open. Am I brave enough to go inside? Let's find out. Whoa. Look at all this stuff. It's like scrappers have been here. I don't know if I want to get too deep into this place where I don't have that way out right there. But I mean, this is legit amazing. You've got to be careful about nails and stuff like that. Some of this stuff reminds me of the abandoned Pennsylvania Turnpike, actually. Look at all the wiring and circuitry still there. Oh. This is something that I'm talking about when I say you've got to be watching your step. Because that could very easily be something that you could trip on. I'm not going to go into that room that's deeper into this place, but I mean, damn. Look at all this. All right. I'll show you what's in. Oh, it's just one room. So it's not like it's a ton of stuff. You've got that in there. And then we're going to go back outside. You can see they've certainly tried to board up parts of it, but they're not doing a great job keeping people out. That's what tells me you don't really have to worry about the police here. Looks like some boards have been removed here, so We'll go see what we can see. It's just a doorway that they've got boarded up pretty good. And the property goes on. Like, I mean, you can see that you've got a ton over there, a ton over there. It's like this complex, it just keeps frickin' going. Like, I mean, we've barely scratched the surface of this, which is amazing. I've always wondered what it would be like to play tennis in an abandoned tennis court. If you've ever seen Life After People, this reminds me a little bit of North Brother Island, where it's impossible to, or Life After People's version of Wrigley Field, where they've got the buckthorn growing right on the pitcher's mound, sort of thing. Where you've got these bushes growing right where the net is supposed to go on this one. And don't do that, that gives us a bad name. Normally I'm not gonna glorify trash, but you know, what the heck? Got a few more of those laying around here. Absolutely does not come with a statement of support for the parties involved, but does come with a look how long this place has been sitting abandoned. You know, normally I don't like graffiti, but spray place? Okay, that's funny. That is so funny. And then you've got these trees blocking the entire pathway. But we went around them and we're heading up this side of it. I mean, I imagine it's the same thing as the other side, although that door's open, so. My keys love clanging around like that. Just like at the other spot, I don't want to go too deep into this because, you know, you want to make sure that you have a way out. But, you know, I'll go up a flight of stairs. I probably should be wearing a mask. All right, masks are on. Continuing up another flight of stairs. Here's a look out the window. It's completely shot out. I wonder how disgusting it's gonna be. Oh no, looks like I'm in the wrong bathroom. Surprisingly, the toilets aren't terrible. Doesn't matter too much because it's abandoned. I can hear something outside. You know, I don't want to be too deep into this place and have only one way out. Back on the ground floor, where, as you can see, it is darker. Got another bathroom. Some of these sinks are in better condition. That's the kind of thing I expect. Stuff like this. Definitely need to be wearing shoes and masks if you're exploring in here. Hey, look, it's home plate. And fuck you, John Fisher. Of all things to see scattered on the ground, a puzzle? Looks like we've got an open door over here in this building. See what we can see. Mask is on. and we are inside the building. I love how some of these ceiling tiles are still here. Like, I did some looking on Google Maps for the historic street view. I do suspect that that Obama-Biden sign is from 2008, because this place has been abandoned at least since then. Don't want to go too deep inside, because, you know, you definitely want to have a way out. And see some damage to the building. Don't do that. It gives us a bad name. You know, you can tell people have been in here looking at all this graffiti that's in here. Scrappers have definitely been in here. That's going to do it inside this portion, because, you know, you don't want to get too deep in these places while you're by yourself. Normally I don't endorse graffiti, but I certainly endorse that message. I'm Urbex and Coasters, and I approve this message. Fuck ice. This does kind of feel like Saltaire in Carnival of Souls, and I'm Mary Henry. Actually, like, it actually does a little bit with just how big this is. Not gonna go too deep down this hallway for reasons that you already know. This might be a hospital and not a military base. I know military stuff is big around here. Look, we've got a set of stairs. Definitely not gonna mess with that though, because you don't want to get too deep into a building like this, because if you get too deep into it, then you don't have a way out. So, you know, it's definitely important to make sure that you have a way out. This also sort of reminds me of IBM Country Club and just how abandoned it is. Here's a look at the tiling where it's not damaged. This is legit amazing. That is the kind of message you'd see in a school or a military facility. Excellence only comes to those who are never satisfied and dedicated to going the extra distance. I'm going the extra distance for you guys by being in here. We'll go around this way to get over there. And we've got a door to look inside that I don't think we're able to get inside through. And down here we have something painted on a building that I don't think is graffiti that might give us clues as to what this was. The snake with "keep up the fire." You can see they've cut the lines. You know, I'm honestly surprised those lines are still there, considering that this place has been abandoned since at least 2008. Probably a whole lot longer, if I'm being honest. And those lines would have copper in them. So I'm honestly kind of surprised. Those tables look to be in pretty good condition back there, actually. I mean, maybe this is redemption for never getting to go inside of Logan School growing up. Looks like some of these rooms with stuff being stored in them are more intact. We've got that sigil there again. I'm gonna have to look up what that means. My original intuition that this was a military thing was correct, because I looked up "keep up the fire," and yes, it is a military phrase. It's a 9th century infantry, it says, that originally used it, but it has been something that militaries have used since. So yeah, there's your answer from me wondering if this was a school. Maybe a military school, though. Although my friend who's a local did say that this is barracks, and that makes sense. A deer amongst something abandoned. Sort of reminds me of Chernobyl. Yes, fuck ice, but the eye of the Illuminati is watching you. We're going through the gateway of the pines. On the other half of the barracks. We've got a window into the inside through this door, so let's go take a look. You can see up through those windows and up there. This is legit amazing. I mean, I imagine it's machinery fairly similar to the other one that's down there, so not the biggest deal in the world. For those of you who are unfamiliar, one of an urban explorer's biggest fears is alarms. And I heard a in the distance when I was in there, so, you know, I figured best to get out of there while I could, because you definitely don't want to be dealing with police. And my friend who's a local did mention that she had a friend get in trouble exploring here, so, you know, I don't want to risk it too much. Like, when you're doing this kind of stuff by yourself, there are certain chances that you don't want to take. But you know, even so, we got a lot of cool footage. Fuck Eddie Lampert, fuck John Fisher, and fuck Richard Zimmerman, and I will see you guys in the next one.